we are moving to new accounting standard. Let me give you introduction to the standard and then we will proceed. Let's say, for example, we'll take Selva Kumar. Okay. Selva Kumar wanted to build a house in ECR Chennai, where he wanted to build a beach house which is facing towards the sea. Okay. Independent villa with 6 bedrooms. Okay. Is what Selva Kumar is planning to build. Now, for this he called L&T for construction of house, and to L&T he paid them 20 crores for the construction of the house over a period of 2 years. So construction is for how long, guys? 2 years. He has paid 20 crores L&T for independent house. Why is it that much expensive? Every bedroom he wants a beach view. From wherever he is in the house, he should be able to see the beach. Even from restroom, he wanted beach view. This was one of the specific requirement he wanted. Each floor had 2 rooms. That was the requirement. What is the entry Selva Kumar SK will pass for this house? What entry will he pass, guys? What is the entry he will pass? Hello. After constructing house, what is the entry? Building account. Very good. Building account debit to bank. So I am creating an asset of, so entry is building account debit to bank. Can you tell me, in this building, what are all the components of this 20 crores? He's going to pass for 20 crores, guys. What are all the components? What all is the expenses of 20 crores? So let's try to write down. In the building kattradhukku for the next 2 years, what are all going to be the expenses for L&T and Selva Kumar together? Labor charges, then materials in the form of bricks, then sand, cement, steel, all of this. Correct? Anything else? Then he might also need flooring, wooden flooring he asked, marble flooring, whatever he wanted, furniture and fittings. So I'm just giving you few examples. So L&T only will purchase the bricks, sand, cement, furniture and fittings. Idella assemble pandrathu. Who's going to fix this? Who's going to construct this? Labor. So all this put together is only 20 crores of. Normally, if you are paying wages to employees, wages to my laborer, what is the entry? Wages to bank. That means normally wages will go to my P&L account of, but in this case, wages is going to my balance sheet, adding to the cost of building. It is becoming an asset. So wages became an asset. Are you able to see it, guys? When I say building is 20 crores, it is every expense necessary to make that building. Correct? Now let's say that labor who stayed here for 2 years don't belong to ECR Chennai. Correct? They are coming from somewhere else. For the purpose of Selva Kumar's house, they will stay here for 2 years. Correct? They will take one nearby shed and they will stay. So for them, I am also giving them daily tea, biscuit and lunch expense. I can't tell the laborer, go eat lunch outside. So in the construction side itself, I will provide them meals every day. Evening, I will give some tea and snacks. That is also an expense. So let's say daily 1,000 rupees for all the laborers, lunch and tea, snacks expense. So this tea, snacks expense, is it part of the 20 crores? Yes. Because Selva Kumar will not come and give the food. He made the payment of 20 crores to whom, guys? L&T will take care of providing all these facilities. Correct? So can I say tea and snacks expense also is part of 20 crores? Laborers will have to wear that helmet, one plastic helmet and one suit they have to wear for protecting in the construction site. Correct? That expense also I will capitalize. Yes or no, guys? Yes. That means when you see building as 20 crores, it is all the expense needed to construct. Correct? Who's incurring all this expense? Selva Kumar, has paid to whom, guys? L&T. L&T only is incurring. all these expenses. Now, later after 1 year of construction of the house, Selvakumar came to audit the house. How construction is going on, he came to check. That time he saw the house was going on. Now he is requesting for a change. He is saying, I want to change this from any bedroom to other bedroom. He wants to have a slide. So he can slide through the other bedrooms. So 6 bedrooms in the house, through a slide he can go easily, up or down. That slide, like how you see in that amusement park on the Queensland MGM and all, that water slide, like that he wanted bedroom to bedroom slide. From one bed he jumps means he will go to the other bed. Why he wants 6 beds, I don't know. You have to ask him. Okay. Now, for this L&T told, but we will try. L&T can do it because L&T is one of the biggest construction company in the world. If you see Metro, they have built. FIFA World Cup, which happened in Qatar, who built the stadium in Qatar? L&T. In Coimbatore, you have that one big Adiyogi and statue. That is also constructed by L&T. So many complex structures L&T are capable of doing. So this bedroom to bedroom jumping also, they can do it. So L&T told, okay, fine, let our architects work around this. They increase the price now. 20 crores has become 25 crores. Because from second floor to ground floor, he can easily slide. From ground floor, how will he slide and go to second floor? So for that, they told we will get some equipment and do all of that. Now extra 5 crores. What is the entry for this extra 5 crores? Already Selvakumar passed entry. What? Building to bank 20 crores. Now extra 5 crores, what entry? What entry wise? This also is building only. So again he will pass what? Building to bank how much? 5. Total building value will now become 25 crores. That's it. Are you following, guys? But the timing of the entry, this would have been passed in the starting. This would have been passed after 1 year, after he had this new need. Are you following, guys? So what is the revised value of building in Selvakumar's books? 25 crores. Are you following, guys? Now this extra 5 crores, he didn't have the money. He didn't have the money because he planned only 20. At any cost, he wanted this new feature. That too, from all the rooms, he will be able to see the beach. So extra 5 crores he didn't have. So what he did, he went to the bank and took a loan of 5 crores. On this loan, so totally he paid how much to the L&T guys? First he paid 20, then he paid 5 crores. So totally capitalized value of building is 25 crores. Correct? This 25 crores only has multiple components we discussed, sand, cement, all of that. Now getting to the point. On this loan of 5 crores, he is going to pay interest. Assuming interest is 10%, let's simplify. So what is the amount of interest? 50 lakhs, correct? So 50 lakhs is going to be the annual interest is going to pay. So just like incurring expenses like labor, material for steel, cement, bricks, all of that, another expense is incurring additionally beyond this 25 crores is what? Interest of 50 lakhs. What is the entry? What is the entry? Entry for interest, guys. I paid 50 lakhs interest. What is the entry? Interest expense account debit 50 lakhs to bank 50 lakhs. Everybody watching online live recording, I want you to repeat at your end. Now why I am saying, I am only arguing. I want you to tell me if it's correct or wrong. நான் என்ன சொல்றேன்னா, all these expenses, tea expenses, bricks expense, labor expense was incurred for what? Building. So you pass the entry building to bank and increase the value of building, capitalized it, correct? That was the first 20. Next 5 also was a value paid for increasing the value of building. That is also for building. So again you capitalize second time and made the building value 25. Now I am saying, just like how cement is needed for construction of building, how sand is needed, how tea expense is needed, which usually tea expense you debit what? P&L, but now we capitalize because it's expense for construction of building. My argument, I'm not saying it's the answer. You tell me if you're satisfied or not. This interest also, I will tell, is an expense incurred for the purpose of construction of the building. So I will not write interest expense to bank. I will write building to bank. How much? 50 lakhs, and my total building will be 25.50 crores is my argument. How many of you accepting interest expense instead of taking it to my debit of P&L under finance cost as per schedule 3, I will take this to building? How many of you agree? Because all these days you take interest only to P&L. If you are satisfied, put your hand up. Yes, I can see half the class. Other half? Yes. How many of you know, sir? Interest means it should go only to P&L. How many of you? Interest expense means P&L. How many of you, I don't know the answer? Yes, Lakshmi didn't raise hand for anything. Harita, yes. What is it? P&L. It goes to P&L. So our class is mixed. The recording also, I'm hoping it's mixed. Some of you P&L, some of you balance sheet. Don't tell I don't know, guys. You have to pick one side. Even if it's wrong, pick one side. Okay. Before this example, before the last 10 minutes, all of you would have taken interest where? Interest expense, now you will always take to P&L. Labor expense, where you will take? P&L, correct? But now, labor expense, are you all convinced I will take to balance sheet and capitalize? Because labor is needed for construction. Then same logic, no. Interest also is needed for construction. See, if I don't take the loan and don't pay the interest, I cannot get that sliding bed. That slide, I can't get. That's a new equipment or new addition I wanted for the house. So, without the loan, the building is not going to increase its value. So, that loan and interest was a necessary expense for the construction of the house. Imagine another scenario. Now take second scenario. Sir, full 25 crores he took loan. He doesn't have money to construct. He took full 25 crores loan. Now on the 25 crores loan, interest at 10% will be 2.5 crores. Now this is an expense needed for the house to be ready. Otherwise house will not be ready, guys. If he is not paying the interest, he is not going to get loan. If he is not getting loan, he can't construct the house. So just like how cement is needed for construction of the house, interest also is needed for construction of the house. Are you following, guys? All these days in school and different levels you would have studied interest now will debit to P&L. But now are you slightly convinced that interest can be added to cost of building, and I can pass the entry building to bank for payment of interest in our example about 2.5 crores. How many of you are convinced with this? Hello? Almost, some of you almost convinced. So this is the concept what we are learning in AS 16, Accounting Standard 16, which talks about borrowing cost. This is the standard. I will finish off the theory significantly, and then later we will go to sums, because once we finish theory, standard is over. AS 16 talks about borrowing cost. Are you following, guys? Hello? Yes. Yes, Sanjeev. Sanjay, yes. Okay, your doubt is, sir, what if I demolish one floor and rebuild the floor? Correct? What happens because I already capitalized? That is a separate discussion in Accounting Standard 10, Property, Plant and Equipment. When to capitalize an asset, when to demolish means what will happen. Here I am only talking about construction. We are not discussing demolition. Okay. Yes, we will demolish. AS 10 will give you the answer. Let's not discuss that over here. Okay. Basically, demolition, to give you context, is called derecognition. Asset is now becoming zero, so you have to reverse the entry which you passed earlier and debit your P&L. We will see in AS 10. Don't get confused. What is AS 16, guys? Borrowing cost. That's what we have in our notes also. Okay, fine. Now, what is important in this standard? Let me give you the overview. First, we have to see whether a company has incurred borrowing cost. What is borrowing cost? Interest. I gave you example. What is borrowing cost, guys? Interest. But the definition of borrowing cost is much wider. It includes lot of things. One among them is what, guys? Interest. Are you following up? But for the standard, I will keep saying borrowing cost is equal to interest. I will interchangeably use for ease of understanding, but in the end I will tell you borrowing cost includes 5 things. In that, one thing is interest. Now, what is the standard saying? The standard's only question is, can I capitalize borrowing cost? Because usually we know borrowing cost will be taken to the debit of P&L. Can I capitalize? Yes or no is what the standard tells. If you can capitalize, by how much I will capitalize? Are you following, guys? So first stage in this standard is to check, have I incurred borrowing cost? Are you following, guys? Clear? Second stage. Now, you all told me you will capitalize this, add to cost of building, because the loan was used for construction of the house up. Are you following, guys? But what if I use loan? I took a loan. I used for a personal trip to go to Europe or to go to Australia. I took 1 crore loan and went to Australia, or for travel purpose. Or I took 1 crore educational loan, went abroad for doing MBA. MBA is expensive, so I went abroad for doing MBA. Now, on this loan, I still have to pay interest. Can I capitalize? No. That time entry will be what? Interest to bank. Not every interest can be capitalized. Such a borrowing cost, such an interest should be incurred for what? Creation of an asset. I'm just giving you simple overview, base. It should be for creation of an asset. Then only you have to ask the question, is the borrowing cost incurred for creation of an asset? If the answer is no, standard not applicable. No need to check the standard anymore. Illa sir, yes, it is for creation of an asset. Yes, it's for creation of an asset. Then you will proceed and do what, guys? Capitalize and debit to the cost of the asset. Are you following, guys? Hello? But next, I'm going to say, house is being constructed for 2 years. Loan is taken for 5 years. Are you following, guys? For example, let me put 2 timelines. House started construction over here. House construction ended over here. This is the period of year 1, year 2. My loan I took somewhere over here in the middle of year 1, and the loan is going till year number 5. So I have year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 2, year 3, year 4 and year 5. Loan is for 5 years. Construction is only for 2 years, and the common period is only here. Are you following, guys? Let's say the common period is only 1.5 years in our example, for example. Now, 5 years loan means interest will be paid for all the 5 years. Can I capitalize all the 5 years or only for a short, other different period? Are you getting it, guys? All these questions you will get answers in this standard. Are you following? Got the overview? So what all we are going to learn in the standard? Very simple. First, what is borrowing cost? Theory part, I will keep it to the end. Second, is such borrowing cost incurred for an asset? Yes or no? No means standard is not applicable. Yes means I have to. The minute you decide you should capitalize, 2 important questions will arise. When I say I want to capitalize, if I have to write it here itself, yes sir, capitalize. Now under capitalize, I have to decide two things. What is the amount I will capitalize? How much interest I have to compute? In that there will be complications. How, sir? Let me give you overview. I have 10 loans. Each loan has different interest rate. I am using all these 10 loans for construction of asset. How much interest to capitalize? Are you following, guys? I have to compute the amount of interest. Once I do that, next is period. I told you, sir, loan also 1 year, house also 1 year, no problem. Both are a different period. How to capitalize? Are you understanding, guys? This is the overview. Let's repeat. Let's understand the overview, guys. First thing you have to check if a question from AS16 comes in exam is it? Then only standard applicable. Sir, I incurred labor cost. Why AS16? I will go to AS15. Next, is the borrowing cost incurred for creation of an asset? Yes, sir. Then only standards applicable. No, not applicable. Yes, it is for asset. Then I have to capitalize. Within capitalization, I have two sub questions. Amount to capitalize, period to capitalize. If you know the answer for all of this, AS16 is over. This is the introduction for AS16. Have you understood, guys? Clear? Okay, perfect. So I have not taught anything. I just gave you overview, and I hope you are now convinced we will capitalize interest. How we are going to learn is, first I will teach you what is this asset. Sir, I purchased one small, let's say, laptop, sir, for 25,000 rupees. Can I capitalize? I purchased on EMI. Went to Amazon, purchased laptop on EMI by paying monthly 2,000 rupees EMI. Can I capitalize? Every asset I can capitalize. I purchased chair. Can I capitalize? That we are going to discuss first. Next, we are going to go and understand what period I will capitalize and then how to compute the amount. Then we will do a few sums. Lastly, we will come to understanding what is borrowing cost, and then few other small miscellaneous concepts we will see. Standard comes to an end. Before I go to the next discussion, any doubts? Please ask the doubts. I will repeat them, of course, for those who are watching recording later. Yes. 4 lakhs? Trip, okay. So his question is, he's asking a question. Tell me if you're able to answer with so much of introduction. He's saying, I took 5 lakhs loan, sir. In that 1 lakh I used for constructing house. 4 lakhs you used for going on a trip. 1 lakh, which house I don't know, but still 1 lakh he constructed the house. 4 lakhs he went on trip. His question is, interest. Which interest you will capitalize? 1 lakh la interest I will capitalize. 4 lakhs la interest I will debit to my PM. That's it. Forget the relevant of the numbers, but concept are you understanding, guys? Clear? Selva Kumar, clear? Okay. Come back from the house to AS16. Now, fine. Let's get into the topic. Asset. Which asset I can construct? The standard says, I will not allow capitalization for all the assets. It's a beautiful logic. First, I will teach you the concept for exam. Then we will get into understanding the logic. Okay. Exam only concept is needed. Logic they will not test. Not all assets are included. Meaning, if you take a loan and buy a car, you can't capitalize. If you take a loan and construct the house, you can capitalize. If you take a loan and buy a house which is ready, house is ready, sir, you can't capitalize. If you take a loan and buy some chairs, you cannot capitalize. If you take a loan and construct chairs, maybe you can capitalize. Is it confusing? Yes. So which asset I can capitalize? They have given a definition. They are saying not all assets. For you to finish your professional course, you have to pass the exam. That means you have to qualify. Then only, for example, Cricket World Cup, group stage, India has to qualify and go to next round. I don't know about Pakistan, but India will qualify and go to the next round, correct? So, they say the asset in this standard is called qualifying asset. Not every asset will qualify for capitalization. Only few assets, it's called qualifying asset, for which they gave a definition. It's everything is there in the material, but I will use it when we need it. Okay. So qualifying asset means an asset which necessarily takes substantial period of time to get ready for intended use or sale. Make a note, I will explain. Same thing is there in the book, guys. I will go to the book when we have to go there. Okay. Important definition. The whole standard revolves around this. Meaning, what is a qualifying asset? Let's read together once. Of course, you have to remember this for exam. Because if a question in AS 16 comes in exam, you have to write this definition. What is it? Qualifying asset means an asset which necessarily takes substantial period of time to get ready for intended use or sale. Which takes substantial period of time to get ready for intended use or sale. So these are the key words. Let's go one by one. Qualifying asset means an asset which necessarily takes substantial period of time. What is the meaning of this? An asset which takes time to get ready. The word substantial period, they have not defined in AS 16. They have not defined. Out of practice, we have assumed, or we have more like accepted substantial period to be 12 months. But don't follow it strictly. In some cases, it can even be 16 months. Some cases, it can also be 9 months. Are you following, guys? Substantial period means long time for it to get ready. Okay. Now, let's say Selva Kumar, for constructing that beach house, is taking 2 years. Is this an asset which takes substantial period of time? Yes. Okay. Let's say, for example, now Selva Kumar wants to get married. He finished his exams. He wanted to get married. So he put his profile on all the matrimony sites. How long will it take once you start the process of getting married? The family will start. How long it will take? Yes, Selva Kumar. 1 year. Okay. Next. Anybody else? Sanjeev, come on. Usually, how long it will take? Once you decide to get married, how long will the whole process take? For you to find a person, families to like each other, then set the dates. How long, guys? Sharal, instead of blushing, give me the answer. How long approximately? Depends upon the person or average. I want average, guys. Average. How much? 0 to 2 years. Once you start looking, 0 to 2 years. So for Selva Kumar, it took 15 years from the time he started to look. Okay. Now, is this normal? Example, no. Now, come back here. Ade Selva Kumar, for constructing the house. Normally, constructing house takes 2 years. It took him 10 years to construct that house. He kept on changing. I want this slide, I want bathroom slide. He kept changing. So, it took 10 years, guys. Will it take 10 years to construct the house? No. Now, come back to definition. Qualifying asset means an asset. Look at the word, which necessarily means anybody doing that work, it will take that much time. Sir, to make one biryani in the house, how long it will take? 1 hour, okay, 0 to 1 hour, okay, 30 minutes to 2 hours. Sir, I am making biryani for 1 year. Then that's not biryani. Are you following, guys? So, which necessarily means, and the vala yaru panalo avlo time agum. Are you getting it, guys? I will again translate back to English. If that work is done, anybody doing that work on average takes so much time. Sir, for me to clear my professional exam, it will take 4 to 5 years. Okay, little bit extra, 6 to 7 years. That's it. Sir, I am writing my professional exam for 25 years. That is not which it necessarily takes. which necessarily, and the vala yaru pannalu, it takes what guys? Substantial period of time. It takes substantial period of time to get ready for intended use. Why Selvakumar is building that house? For him to stay. Are you following guys? For him to, so now look at the keywords. Qualifying asset means an asset which necessarily takes substantial period of time to get ready for intended use. Intended use will stop. We'll come to sale later. Now, Selvakumar took 2.5 years to construct the house. Is this qualifying asset? Yes. But he did not use the house. His astrologer told him, you can go into the new house only after you get married. His marriage took 15 years. So for 15 years, that house was idle. He didn't give for rent also. He said, no, I will only be the first person to go to the house. So he kept it for idle for 15 years. Now he is saying, the interest I will capitalize for 15 years because I didn't use it. Can he say that? No. What is the wording? To get ready for. It is ready for use. If he is not using, I am not using, I can't do anything. Classic example. Fire extinguisher is ready for use. Does not mean I have to use it. Most of the fire extinguishers will get expired if we don't use it. That's good. You can't tell I have to use it. Is it ready to use? Na use pandrano illiyo, secondary. Are you following guys? I bought recorded class. I am not watching, sir. That's not my fault. Then you will again message and say I want extension. I can't do anything. You didn't use it. It's ready for intended use. So I am making an asset or I am creating an asset which takes substantial period of time for intended use. I am spending so much time here because the entire standard revolves on this. If you get this wrong, answer is wrong. You interest the compute panni, what's the use? No point of computing interest if you decide to capitalize when you should not capitalize. Okay, yes. So after because of pandemic, COVID pandemic came, 2.5 years became 5 years. Now, is this increase of time for everybody because of pandemic? Yes, so qualifying us. Are you following guys? Clear? Next, I will come to that computation later. Now next, so what do you mean by sale? I am creating an asset for selling up. Selvakumar built this house to sell it. Is he a construction company? I am talking about, let's say, take Casa Grande. What is Casa Grande famous for? Construction of houses is one thing. Second is for calling also. I get a lot of calls from them. Lot of spam calls. Do you want this? Do you want that? But somehow I manage. Okay, fine. They are famous for construction of houses. They construct apartments and do what guys? Sell. Their apartments construction might take 2 to. So Casa Grande taking a loan and paying interest and constructing a house for 2 to 3 years. But are they going to stay there? How many hours he will stay? No. They only want to sell it. Are you following guys? Okay. Clear guys? So I am constructing an asset either for my own use or for sale. So now with me the definition guys. Qualifying asset means an asset which necessarily takes substantial period of time to get ready for intended use or sale. Any doubts now? I'm going to say correct. Beautiful question. Her question is, sir, if I am constructing to sell it, then isn't it inventory? Yes, it's an inventory. It is an inventory. 100 houses Casa Grande has built. They are all inventories. For the inventory cost, I will add what guys? Interest. Now go back to AS2 notes. There I have told you, go back to your AS2 notes. Okay. If you have the AS2 notes, since the question was brought up, AS2 talks about what guys? Valuation of inventory. In valuation of inventory, I told exclusion from cost. In cost of inventory, interest cost is excluded subject to AS16. If AS16 allows, I will capitalize. Are you getting the logic now guys? In that time when I taught AS2, I don't know if you understood. That time I told I will teach you later in AS16. Standards have interlinking guys. So interest cost subject to AS 16. What's AS 16 saying? You can capitalize. Then if Casa Grande is building houses, it is inventory, I will capitalize. Are you following, guys? So here they are only saying in AS 16 asset. They are not saying fixed asset. It can be any asset, inventory, investment, anything. Are you following, guys? Now I will give some examples. You tell me, is this a qualifying asset or not a qualifying asset? Are you following, guys? Yes. Okay. Her question is, sir, Casa Grande constructed the house in 2 years, but they are yet to paint. For sale, it's taking another 3 to 4 years. Only when I'm selling, I'm painting and selling because paint has to be fresh. So can I capitalize the interest for that full 5 years is the question. This we will discuss a little later in this topic. When should I stop capitalization? When should I start? When we come to that discussion, you will know. Now you know what is a qualifying asset. Let me give examples. Tejaswini went and purchased a new i20 car. She paid today. Okay. She paid some advance today. Car got delivered to her in 3 months. She took the car and she paid the balance money. Is this a qualifying asset? Hello? No, it's not taking substantial period of time to get ready for intended use and buying the car. Sometimes waiting time is 3 months. Sometimes it's only 1 month. Sometimes it's 5 months based on demand. It's not, see, delivery of car might take 5 months. But to construct the car will get over within few days of assembly of car. So it's not an asset which takes substantial period of time to get ready for intended use. Are you following, guys? Next. Sanjeev took a loan for purpose of education. He is going and studying MBA from one of the, let's say from Harvard. Okay. So he's studying MBA in Harvard. Cost is going to be 2 crores. So he took 2 crores loan. It's going to be expensive. MBA means expensive. Okay. But after he does MBA in Harvard, he will get a job which pays him 3 crores annually. No doubt in that. Annual salary will be 3 crores if you do MBA from the top colleges. Okay. So Sanjay is saying, this loan is an investment into me. I am the asset. Now, this interest, can I say it's a qualifying asset? Hello? Can I say it's a qualifying asset? Hello? No. As per definition, qualifying asset means an asset. It should be an asset. Sanjeev cannot tell I am an asset. Do you depreciate yourself? No. Qualifying asset means an asset which necessarily takes substantial period of time to get ready for intended use. Education loan is not creating an asset. What if he fails in the final year? How do I know? Are you getting it, guys? Clear? Next. Let's say, yes, online doubt. Okay. Yes, asset means something which gives you economic benefits in the future. Correct. Okay. Okay. So her doubt is, sir, why can't I take education as an asset and consider it as an asset? Asset is not defined in AS 16. Small deviation is defined in AS 26. When I go to 26, I will again repeat, but to give you a quick context, asset is defined. Asset can be anything, AS, inventory, anything. Asset is a resource which is controlled by enterprise from which future economic benefits are expected. This is the definition of an asset. Any asset is a resource which is controlled by the enterprise from which I can expect future economic benefits. It's defined in AS 26. We are not discussing AS 26 now. Okay. Now, education, where does it come? Is it a resource which is controlled by the enterprise? Do you control education, guys? No. So I cannot get into the definition of asset. Let's say you are building a house. Yes, House is a resource which is controlled by the enterprise, from which I get what, guys? Future economic benefits. So education I will not consider. Vivashni, are you understanding now? Vivashni, are you understanding? Hello? I'm not sure if she's there. Okay. Let's proceed. Let's take another example. 1 second. Let's say Sanjeev purchased, let's say he is constructing a new plant and machinery. He is constructing, let's say, a transformer for his house for power backup, which took 9 months for construction. Is this qualifying asset? Yes, if it's going to take 9 months for everybody, it becomes a qualifying asset. Yes, next doubt. Mutual fund is an asset. Yes. Okay, very good. Her doubt is, sir, mutual fund is an asset, investment. Yes. Mutual fund is a resource controlled by the enterprise. I can buy and sell when I want, from which I can expect future economic benefits. I get dividends from mutual fund. Very good. But is mutual fund a qualifying asset? Is it a qualifying asset? Does it take substantial period of time to get ready? In 1 second I can buy mutual funds. Now time is 11:42 a.m. I go to my Upstocks or Zerodha app. I can buy mutual funds in less than 30 seconds. Is it taking substantial period of time? No. So the question is, asset includes multiple things like inventory, tangible assets, intangible assets, many things. I gave you a brief definition of what is asset over here. Not relevant for this standard, so I'm not going deep into it. We will go deep into it in AS 26. But within the definition of asset, you have something called a qualifying asset. That is only important for me. To keep this discussion open, where you will later get the answer in AS 26. For example, let me take the company called Hatsun. What does Hatsun do? Dairy products. So one of the major raw materials for them is what? Milk. With milk only they give you paneer, curd, everything you get. Okay. How do they get the milk? From, how do they get gas? Mishina. They have thousands of cows. Correct? So for Hatsun, cow is an asset. Will I keep cow in my balance sheet and will I depreciate cow? Are you following, guys? So this answer we will see in AS 26 when I teach the definition of an asset. Are you getting it? For now, sir, what to learn? What is a qualifying asset? When I will capitalize interest or not? Sir, I went to a nearby furniture shop and purchased the bed and chair for the new house. Selvakumar purchased bed and chair. He paid today. He got the delivery within 15 days. Okay. Is this qualifying asset, guys? No. Is it taking substantial period of time? No. Are you following? Yes. IPO, okay. No. IPO is maximum within 30 days it gets done. No. How is it substantial period of time? How long it takes to get listed? 1 week. Substantial period of time. No. IPO, buying shares. Buying shares is not a process which takes substantial period of time. So it's not a qualifying asset. Are you understanding, guys? Can we proceed? So now in our discussion, what we have finished so far is, in the overview what I gave you, we finished what is a qualifying asset in this standard. Yes, next doubt online. You can go watch the recording if it got disconnected. It will be hard to explain again. Okay. Fine. Next. Let's proceed. Let's proceed further, guys. Now is the next two important discussion. We have all decided to capitalize. Correct? So now you know what's a borrowing cost. For our limited understanding, what's borrowing cost? Borrowing cost is interest. Interest is incurred on a qualifying asset. You understood what is a qualifying asset. Now we have to capitalize. For capitalizing, I told you two important key metrics. If we learn, we can straight away go for the sums. One is what amount I will capitalize. Second is period I will capitalize. Correct? Okay. Amount is easy. We'll come back to it later. Let's look at the period. Okay. For this, let's again come back to Selva Kumar's house. Let's say his house, let's say the idea of him to buy the house or to construct a house came for him in Jan 2024. He paid money to L&T for construction in March 24 is when he paid 20 crores or whatever amount advance. The actual construction work started in, let's say, June 2024 and the construction was completed by September 2026. 2 years and a few months. Are you following, guys? Getting the rough timeline? He moved into the house, let's say, in October 2027, after 1 year. After he got married only, he moved into the house. This is the timeline of the house. Are you following, guys? Okay. First scenario, imagine the loan was taken in Jan 2024 and loan is outstanding till Jan 2030. 6 years he has still not repaid the loan. Because you can't expect loan period to match with the construction period. How can it be same? Are you understanding, guys? See, you are going for a trip. Sanjeev took 1 crore loan to go to Europe. Europe trip is 6 months. Loan will be much longer. Or Europe trip is 1 month. Loan could be longer. So don't expect both to be same. Maybe in a sum they will be same. Are you following, guys? Now the question is, interest will be paid for this entire 6 years of, hello, he will pay interest for 2024 till 2030. 6 years he will pay the full interest. Let the amount be anything, I don't care. Some amount of interest, 2 crores, 5 crores, whatever. My question is, in this interest, how much to capitalize, how much to not capitalize? Meaning, you tell me above, in the construction, which period, when I will start, when I will end. Will I start capitalizing the day I take the loan? See, Jan 24 only he got the idea, I want a new house. So he took the loan on the same day. Will I start capitalizing the day he gets the loan? Logically, guys. Hello? No. Then March he paid advance. Can he start capitalizing? He paid advance in March. Construction started only in June. How many of you Jan? Nobody Jan? Jan when I took the loan. I might have taken the loan today, but I might start construction after 5 years. I will capitalize for 5 years. Sir. What I will capitalize? Asset itself is not there. I can capitalize only if asset is there. One base should be there. So in this period, asset illiye. So I can't capitalize here. Are you following, guys? Next, after giving advance, before construction, there's a small gap of 2 to 3 months. Can I capitalize then? No. How? If you want to capitalize, asset illiye. There is no asset. I can't capitalize. When is the asset getting ready? From June 2024. So this is the point of starting. Ending September 26. After he moves in the house. When the asset is ready for intended use. So this period only he will capitalize. This period only. So this common period of interest, whatever I am shading in blue, in this period interest I will capitalize. The rest of the interest for this period, what you will do? Debit P&L. Are you following, guys? You got the logic without giving you the concept points. You got the concept, guys. Now getting to the technical points. Sir, in book, what are the points which is there for starting and ending? Okay. So what we basically saw now is, look at this definition of, in the notes if you see, we have seen definition of qualifying asset. That definition only I have given over here. Are you following, guys? Then yes, it is a qualifying asset Next you have to go to what are the conditions for capitalization. Look at this. The conditions are whatever we saw in this example is documented into points. They have given 3 conditions. This is for starting, guys. This is for start, not for end. I am discussing the conditions for starting. Are you following, guys? When do you start? Capitalize, look at this, specific conditions for commencement of capitalization. Capitalize only if all the 3 are met. Important 3 points. You already gave the answer. Let's connect with it. Borrowing cost should be incurred. That means what? Loan. I should have taken the loan. I should have paid some interest. Interest, borrowing cost is incurred. Are you following, guys? Meaning, follow very carefully here. First line, timeline of the house is not changing. I am only changing the timeline of loan. Imagine he took the loan not in Jan 24, but he's taking only in the month of, let's say, August 2024. When you will start? When you will start capitalizing? Only August 24. Even though construction started before, how will I capitalize interest if interest was never incurred? So what is the first condition? Borrowing cost should be incurred. What is second? Expenditure should be incurred. That means what? It's not about construction. L&T should have started. I should have incurred. I should have paid this 20 crores. I should have paid this 20 crores to L&T to start the construction. Or I should have purchased some materials. I should have purchased some cement. Are you following, guys? Sir, now loan is taken. All the raw materials are purchased. The bricks, sand, cement, everything is purchased. Loan also is taken. Can you start capitalization? Hello? Let's say I want to build this room. Loan eduthuta. I purchased all the chairs. I purchased the cement. Can I start capitalization? No. What should start? Construction. I should have started the work. So that is the third point. There should be activity on the qualifying asset, like some physical activity or technical or administrative. What do you mean by technical activity? That they're constructing building and the site soil test, how many floors I can construct, that is some activity. So all 3 should be there. What is first point? Borrowing cost. Apna loan irthiruknu. Second point, expenditure. You should have paid for construction. Third, there should be வேலை ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிருக்கணும். Such activity can be physical, technical or administrative. Only when all 3 are met. That means after all 3 are met, later after finishing all 3 only I will capitalize. We have questions in exam where they will give you different dates and ask you to pick what's the starting date. Are you following, guys? Yes. Okay. Her question is very good. Her question is, sir, March 24 I made the payment. Actual construction started in June 24. But in this gap, they are designing, sir. And the video design pandrom. Can I start in March itself? Yes. Because in this 2 months, you are doing what activity? Administrative and technical activity. Getting the project design ready. Are you following? Edad or activity. They are saying activity can be physical, technical or administrative. I gave money. He didn't do any work, sir. Summa is waiting to start after for seeing for good date. No, you can't capitalize. Are you following? Yes. Of course, activities, once it starts, it has to keep going on. Sir, what if I get breaks? We'll come to that. So now have you all understood 2 important things in the standard? What is a qualifying asset? When will you start capitalization? The next set of discussion is 2 things. When do you end? And her point, what she brought up now. Sir, Nadula, what if there are breaks? What if there are breaks? Shall we finish that now or do sums and then come back here? Finish these 2 and then go to sums, guys. So let me do just these 2 and then we'll go to sums. So you all understood when do I start? For exam viewpoint, when do you start, guys? 3 points. What is it? Borrowing cost should be incurred, expenditure incurred, activity. What is definition of qualifying asset? Qualifying asset means an asset which necessarily takes substantial period of time to get ready for intended use or sale. Excellent. Sir, what if after I started there is a break, sir? And when do I end? Let's go to breaks first. End we'll discuss after this. Sir, what do you mean by break? Selva Kumar started construction. Okay. His neighbor already has a house. Daily this construction, they are troubling the neighbor. Lot of dust is going there, lot of sound pollution. So on the neighbor ku Selva Kumar ku Sunday fight. Who won the fight? Someone won the fight. So because of that fight, some 30 days they did not do any construction. So construction went on for 2.5 years, but Nadula there's a gap of 30 days. Can I continue capitalization, or that 30 days gap I have to pause up and that 30 days debit to PNL? Are you getting it, guys? What to do? Are you getting what I'm saying? One gap came, guys. Can I continue or can I proceed? Or Selva Kumar's astrologer told, every year in the month of October, don't do any activity. So in October, he didn't do any construction. So 3 Octobers came, 3 years construction. So in this 3 years project, 90 days construction site was idle. Now my interest for this 90 days breaks. Can I continue capitalization or stop for those 90 days? That's your question. Correct answer? Okay. You're having a doubt of? Now imagine the same 90 days construction stopped because flood came. He's building near ECR beach up. So heavy rains and one mini tsunami comes, means flood. So one mini tsunami came, so full area was flooded. So you can't do construction. You can't even go to the building site. So because of that 90 days construction was stopped. Now you tell me, can I continue construction or stop? I mean, can I continue the capitalization? Here Nadula has a 90 days gap. Can I capitalize for the whole period? I mean, the whole period should I capitalize, or this period I should not capitalize on? Whole period. Flood means you are saying whole period. Why? Because it's not in my control. But the previous example of astrologer or fighting with the neighbor is in whose hands? My hands. Labor have gone for a strike. Labor is saying, the tea and snacks you are giving is not enough for me. I want more food. So they fought with Selva Kumar. Trade union, one fight happened. Now, because the union was fighting, the employees were not working. 40 days, no construction took place. Then after that, Selva Kumar increased tea, snacks with some more food. So they started to work. Now this 40 days, will I continue or stop? Are you following, guys? So this breaks that come in the middle is called, these breaks that come in the middle. Sir, I am working in a company for 20 years, or I am going to a college for 4 years. Nadula 1 week, they said don't come to college. They gave me a letter. What's that called? Suspend. How many of you got suspended in college here? Anybody? Here? Arun? Anita? No. Okay. Have anyone got suspended? Only in movie hero gets suspended. Correct? Okay. Now this is called suspension from work. So your college is 4 years, but Nadula you have a 10 days suspension. Like that in this full construction, my suspension, this is called suspension of work. These breaks are called what, guys? Suspension of work. This suspension can be of 2 types. One is the flood. Earlier we discussed COVID, tsunami, all these. Can I control what is happening? Can I control what's happening? No. So that is called unavoidable suspension. நான் எதுவும் பண்ண முடியாது. Not in my control. So if things are not in my control, can I be punished? No. So during this period, unavoidable suspension வந்துச்சுனா, unavoidable suspension, then capex to continue. Are you following, guys? What if it is avoidable suspension. Give me examples for avoidable suspension. Employees fight, astrologer told something. Then tell me more examples for avoidable suspension. Raw materials not available. That's in my control. Nee vaangi vechirukkom, nee vaangala. Cement is not available for 15 days. You should have purchased in bulk and kept. You should have planned it. So all these avoidable suspension, what you should do? Capitalization to halt or stop, to pause. You have to suspend the capitalization. Are you following, guys? Same thing we have in the book. Look at this. Suspension of borrowing cost. Same thing. What I have in the book, I am just writing. Suspension, avoidable suspension, like labor strike. Borrowing cost should not be during that break, but don't call it break. Suspension, unavoidable na, borrowing cost should be capitalized. What is the logic for this? Unavoidable is not in my control. So how can I be punished? Are you getting it, guys? Same thing applies in life. If something is bothering you and it's unavoidable, you can't do anything about it. What's the point of stressing about it? You can't do anything. So if this person is not talking to me, what can you do? Go slap him. Nothing you can do. Avoidable. Things are in my control. Sir, I am not studying, sir. I am feeling very low, sir. I am not studying. So much is that to study. That is in your hands. Only you can study. The fear will go away only when you study. Otherwise, the fear will keep increasing. So that's avoidable. So you have to be punished. Fail. Okay. Borrowing cost should not be capitalized. Yes, Sanjay, doubt. Financial, no, his question, proper. You tell me, guys. Avoidable suspension or unavoidable? Loan was not given. Avoidable or unavoidable? It is avoidable. Loan is not given to you means because something you did. Why is loan not given to you? Your documents are not proper, or you should get loan from somewhere else. You don't have money, so construction stopped. Don't tell it's unavoidable. You should have given the money. Are you following, guys? You have finance problem, not my problem. The standard says it's in my control. Only I can sort my finance problem. It's in my control. Are you getting it? That's it. Yes, Arun. Purila. Okay, next. He's saying, sir, I purchased a land, sir. Villain came, Prakash Raj came and put one building, board. This property belongs to Prakash Raj. He came and put one board. So land on case is going on. So court gave one stay order. Construction should not take place until the true owner is found out. Now, what to do? Avoidable, unavoidable? Now, case is not in my hands, no. It again depends. No, when buying the land, I checked, everything was perfect. Now somebody came and put case. I didn't expect Prakash Raj to come like that. So now I have to fight with him in the case, in the court. How long the case will take, it's not in my control now. Correct? So it becomes unavoidable. This is, the line of difference is very thin. Avoidable, unavoidable, you should decide. Is it in my hands? Can I resume the suspension? No. Answer then it is unavoidable. Sir, my actions determine the outcome. Then it becomes avoidable. Correct, guys? Clear? Yes. Regular holidays is part of the suspension. Going to college, Sundays are leave. Regular holiday. Can I say I'm suspended on every Sunday in college? No. That's it. Okay. Fine, guys. Following. So you have now understood. Come back. We'll do one last concept and go to sums. So you understood what is a qualifying asset. You learned now when to start capitalizing. You understood how to deal with breaks. Now coming to the end. When should I stop, sir? Going back to Tejaswini's example. She told, sir, I constructed a house. Or Selva Kumar's example itself, he constructed the house. It took 2 years for construction. But he's yet to paint the house. Painting mattum panla. Yeduk panla? He decided to paint only when he's planning to go to the house. Or Casa Grande built many houses. They will paint only when they are going to sell. That selling process took additionally 5 years. Then can I capitalize for 5 years? When to end? When to end, guys? This ending is called for, what do you mean? Give me another word for end. Like break, you give suspension. End, one more term. One movie also came, Dash Fire. One flop movie came recently, no. Dash Fire. Prabhas is the hero. Cease fire, very good. So this end is called cease. What do you mean by cease? Stop. So the technical term used here is cease. When do you stop capitalization? I mean, sorry if any Prabhas fans are here, but movie is like that only. What can we do? Okay. If we are discussing cessation of capitalization. Cessation of capitalization. That means what do you mean by this? When to stop? Now I am going to ask you two questions. Should I stop when the asset is 100% ready, or should I stop when the asset is 90% ready? Let me give an example to understand this. The house which Selvakumar constructed, beach house, it took 2 years. Okay. Now he moved into the house. He got married. He moved into the house immediately. Okay. He already got married. He was waiting for the house to get ready. So he moved into the house. After going to the house, in the first 1 month, he noticed in one of the restrooms, the doorknob was not proper. So he called that, what to say, that furniture carpenter. He called the carpenter and he fixed the doorknob. Okay. Then after 1 month, in some other bedroom, light was not working. So he called whom? Electrician, and he fixed it. Like this small things, whenever you move to a new house, I'm sure all of you would have moved to a house at least once in your lifetime. New house. Is the house always ready? No. I mean, it's not fully ready. Small things will be pending. Correct? Carpet is not yet put, or doormat was missing. So he said, Anamaya 1 month extra, 1 month extra. He extended by 6 months. In the 6th month, he told, in the kitchen, spoon is missing. So he waited for a spoon to come. Then only he said, house is ready. Otherwise, how will you eat? So like this, he kept saying, and he delayed by how much, guys? 6 months. Now, can I say capitalization will end after 2 years or 2 years, 6 months? So asset can never be ready fully. So the standard says cessation, you will stop when the asset is substantially ready. For example, for exam, nobody knows 100% of syllabus. Will you say, I will write exam only after I study 100%, then you will never write. You are always 80%, 90% prepared with syllabus, and you will skip few topics and go to exam. That's the same logic here. Cessation of capitalization, follow. Look at this. Cessation, cease capitalization, ceasefire. You will not forget that term. When asset is substantially ready. Are you following, guys? What is second point? Let's take the Casa Grande example, where Casa Grande is building 100 houses, guys. Okay. In one apartment, they are building some 100 houses. Now, in this 100, for this they took a loan. For these 100 houses, 70 houses are ready, 30 construction still going on. In 70 houses, people are slowly coming in. Matta 30 houses, still construction is going on the top floors. What to do now? How to see? One loan. I have taken one loan of 100 crores to build 100 houses. The idea is to sell each house for 3 crores or 2 crores. So profit is 100 crores. Padi vala over. 70% is over. 30% is going on. Now what to do? Proportionately, when the வீடு construction is over, that house I will stop interest. So they are saying, look at the second point. However, where borrowing cost comprises of multiple assets, can you see 100 houses, multiple assets, and where some assets are ready, 70 houses are ready and capable of independent use. Stop capitalization for assets which are ready for use. No, sir. And the 100 houses, unless all the 100 houses are ready, nobody can move in. Then it's not capable of independent use. Then you can stop capitalization only when the 100 houses are ready. Are you following, guys? Clear? So let's quickly summarize the concepts what we have seen. I've given you so many examples. Exam ko what is relevant? First we learned what is borrowing cost. It includes multiple things, but we discussed what, guys? Interest. Interest should be incurred on what? Which asset? Qualifying asset. Earlier I told only asset. It should be a qualifying asset. If it's not a qualifying asset, AS 16 is not applicable. If it's a qualifying asset, yes, then you will proceed and capitalize. For this capitalization, we have two conditions. One is how to determine the amount, how do you determine the period. So what was the definition of qualifying asset? Qualifying asset means an asset which necessarily takes substantial period of time to get ready for intended use or sale. That the key words were necessarily, substantial, intended use. Then this capitalized amount we are yet to discuss, that's we'll discuss in next part. Period, we saw three things. When do you start? How do you deal with the breaks? Suspension, when do you end? Cease capitalization. Start, once three conditions are met. What are the three conditions? Borrowing cost is met, expenditure incurred, activity on the asset. Breaks, we call them as suspension. Suspension is classified into avoidable and unavoidable. Avoidable, what do? Don't capitalize. Unavoidable, I will capitalize. And when do you end the capitalization? I will end the capitalization when the asset is substantially or 90% ready for use. And if the asset has multiple assets and each of the assets are capable of independent use, and then the asset, whenever it gets ready, you will stop capitalization for that and you will compute proportionately. Are you following, guys? Clear? Understanding? So AS 16 is just one page theory notes what I gave you. What all we finished over here. So that next part we will go there. We finished definition of qualifying asset. We finished the conditions when you will start. We finished suspension. We also finished cessation. What we have left, core theory, is only two things. What is the definition of borrowing cost in this chart? What is definition of borrowing cost? Correct? And we have how do you count the amount in certain cases? That only is measurement of borrowing cost. How do you quantify amount? That's called measurement of borrowing cost. With this, we are done with 70% of the concepts in this standard. In the next recording, for recording students, you see second recording over there of next concepts. Now we'll proceed into what, guys? Sums, do a few questions. Okay. So with this recording comes to an end. Thank you. Okay. So in the earlier concept, first half, what we discussed, guys, we understood what is a qualifying asset, and once you decide you are going to capitalize, I told you two factors to consider. One is period, one is amount. And I told you that time what was pending theory over here is how do you quantify or how do you value this amount, and also we also have one more small concept as to what is borrowing cost. So now we will finish both of these. How do you quantify the amount and how do you find what is the theory part of borrowing cost? Come to amount. So look at this. Multiple scenarios are possible. Let's take the scenario case 1, which is the case where most of your sums have come. Loan amount, usage. Okay. In case 1, loan was 100. Assume interest rate in all cases 10% for simplicity. Usage, I used the 100. Are you following, guys? Usage is 100. That means, for example, let's say construction of plant and machinery. What is the amount of interest? 10. So interest full 10. I will capitalize in this case. Correct? Case 2. Loan amount is 100. Usage has a breakup. 70 is for plant and machinery. 30 is for working capital. What do you do in this scenario? Interest on 70, assuming 10%, 7 you will capitalize. Interest on 30, assuming 10%, 3 you will debit P&L. Third scenario, let's assume the loan amount is same 100, usage is 90 for plant and machinery, 10 is not used. In all the cases so far, loan was matching with the amount of usage. Now I am saying loan is more than usage. Sir, I took 100 loan, but I used only 90. What about 10? Use panla. Why should I use? I didn't use. Now how to do? Now what to do, guys? Hello. 99 interest I will capitalize, but still I have to pay interest on 100. Will the bank tell, oh, you didn't use the loan? Okay, no need to pay interest. Will you tell that, guys? No. I still have to pay the interest. So how much is the interest here? 10 on 10 interest is 1. What to do? Debit P&L. Because I didn't use the loan, it's not, what to say, bank's fault. Accounting purpose, how much is used for qualifying asset? Capitalized. Balance debit to P&L. So we can maybe get a scenario like this in exam. Maybe you don't have a sum, but this is one you have to be ready with. Are you following? What about next case? Case 4. Loan is 100. My usage is like this. 70 is for plant and machinery, qualifying asset. 50 is for building, qualifying asset. 10 is for working capital. Now what to do? What to do now? Usage is more than loan. How is that possible? Why should I borrow fully? Are you following? My usage totally 70 plus 50 plus 10. How much? 130. But loan is only 100. Sir, what about the remaining 30? Yeah, I had my savings. So my savings is 30. Loan is 100. Cumulative in this 130 is used as follows. Now how to take the interest? Now the question is, which money is used for what? Sir, loan is used for plant and machinery, building a working capital. Savings is used for working capital. How do I know? You have your wallet. You already have your savings 500 rupees. Your parents gave you another 2000 rupees today. Good day, they are in good mood, so they gave you 2000 rupees. Now in your wallet, how much you have? 2500. Immediately you went to ITC Grand Sala Hotel and ate one plate of biryani. 2300 rupees you paid. Now, whose money you give? Parents' money. Okay, let's say you have 500 rupees. Your parents gave you 2000. You totally have 2000. All 500 rupee notes mixed in the wallet. 5 notes. You went to ITC. Let's say the bill was 1800. Okay. Now, whose money you give? Parents' money or your savings? It's mixed now. For everything is the same. Correct? Can I say, no, parents put 2000 only, I paid 90C, my savings is still there? Maybe you can say that, but everything has become one lot now. How do you account now? Are you following, guys? Understanding? So here, how do I split the interest of 10? My interest here is how much, guys? 10. How do I split? How do you split, guys? Yes. So what I'll do? I will split proportionately, assuming this 100 is used equally for all the 3. So my loan is how much? 100. Interest is 10. I will do 10 into 70 divided by 130. 10 into 50 divided by 130. 10 into 10 divided by 130. Are you following, guys? I will split my 10 basically in the ratio of 7:5:1. Are you getting it, guys? Because question has not given any other data. What answer you will get that time? 10 in the ratio 7:5:1. How much quickly? 5.4. Then 10 into 50 by 130, how much? 3.9 now. 3.89 whatever. And last one, 10 into 10 by 130, 0.76. Add these 3, 10 varda. 5.4 plus 3.89 or 3.9 plus 0.76. Are you getting 10? It should come 10. It should match. How can you take it more? Is it coming 10, guys? Yes. Small rounding off, you made a mistake, I can't help it. But is it coming to 10, guys? That's it. This is how you will split interest in this case. Are you following, guys? Hello? So scenario 1, both are same. Scenario 2, loan is more than usage. Scenario 3 is a tricky one where loan is less, usage is more. If question tells savings is fully used for plant and machinery, then it's easy. No need to do proportionate, because in this 70, if I use savings, how much is from loan? 40. So plant and machinery 40, building 50, working capital 10. Easy, I will do 100. Are you following? Question gives data, now you know it. Are you following, guys? Next scenario. Scenario, whatever, 5. Okay, this 5 scenarios will cover all the possible sums. Okay. Next, in my balance sheet, follow carefully, guys. I have not one loan. In all the above scenarios, you had only, now I have multiple loans. Okay. Loan from SBI, let's say 100, interest at 10%. Loan from HDFC, 150 is the loan at 12% interest, or let's say 14% interest. 14%. 150 at 14%, SBI 100 at 10%. My usage of this 250, okay, is I constructed plant and machinery for 200. That's it. Simple. I have 2 loans. Total loan is how much? 250. In this 250, I constructed plant and machinery. How much, guys? 200. Now, how to take the interest? How to take the interest now? Are you understanding, guys? Compared to the previous sums we have done to now, each case we are going one level higher. What to do in this scenario? Which loan was taken first, I don't know. Question has not given the data to me. Both are 2 general loans. It's like father gave me 5,000 rupees, mother gave me 10,000 rupees. Together I have 15,000 rupees. I went and purchased some gadgets costing 12,000 rupees. Whose money I used? I don't know. Are you getting it, guys? What to do now? What to do? What proportionate? For example, SBI 100 into 10% interest is 10. Here 150 into 14% interest is 21. So my total interest is 30. Total interest for 250. Now in this 31, how much is for 200? Are you following, guys? So what they are saying, this is the case where in my business, I have some general borrowings. Which is my general borrowing? This borrowing I can use for anything. Adila I use 200 for plant and machinery. How do you find out amount? What they are saying, if it is one loan, it's easy. If it's multiple loans, he's saying find out the average cost of borrowing, meaning what is the total interest in this case, maximum interest possible. 31 now, 10 plus 21. So I will write 31 is the total interest. What is the interest? 31 is for how much loan? 100 plus 150. So my total loan is into 100. How much are you getting? Average 12.40%. Correct? So this is called average cost of borrowing, or in other words, this is nothing but weighted average cost of borrowing. This only is called weighted average. This is not average. Why, sir? Average means 10 plus 14 divided by 2. How much? 12%. That is called simple average. I am not doing simple average. I am giving importance for the loan also. So this is called what? Weighted average cost of borrowing. How much you got? 12.40. That means as a business, overall, look at the logic. Overall, I borrowed 250. On this 250, my interest is 31. So my interest is 12.40. 40 is my rate of interest. Now I'll apply 200 is my usage into 12.40%. How much will get? 24.8 or whatever. This is the amount I will capitalize. Are you following, guys? So if I have general borrowings, the steps are simple. Step is first to find out. What is first step? Find out weighted average cost of borrowing. Step 2 is apply this on the usage on the assets. Are you understanding, guys? Simple 2 steps. Now same example, I'm going to make it little more interesting. Balance sheet. This time I'm bringing 3 loans. Ade SBI 100 at 10%. Ade HDFC 150 at 14%. But before I go further, one important thing, when you compute the average can never be less than 10% or more than 14%. Do you know that? In your class, let's say school, every year in school they take height and weight of all students. Yes or no? That's a fun day. We'll compare who's the tallest, all of them. Let's say the shortest in the class is 100 centimeters. Tallest is 190 centimeters. Okay. Now, average cannot be less than 100. Or it cannot be more than 190. Correct? Average is between the extremes. So, sometimes I have seen some papers. Weighted average cost of borrowing 15% poduvom. How 15 will come? The maximum is what? 14. So, those things you have to be careful. Okay. So, come back here. SBI 100 at 10%, HDFC 150 at 14%, and let's introduce a new loan. ICICI 200 at, let's say, 15%. So, where will the average be here? Between 10 and 15. It can't be anything else apart from that. If it's there, 0 marks. Examiner next step pe paaka maatam. Are you following, guys? Now the usage. I constructed a building, guys. Okay. I constructed a building for 300 rupees. I constructed a building for, and the question is telling specifically, hey, ICICI loan is used for building. Or I'm repeating again, already in my business, I have SBI and HDFC. In the building kattradukage, to construct this building, I have specifically taken a loan what? ICICI. So I'm saying ICICI loan is fully used for building. Other loans could be used for many things. Now how to compute? How much to capitalize? How to compute? So you have 2 types of loan. These 2 types of loan are called, ICICI loan is called specifically taken for specific asset. So as per AS 16, these type of loans are called specific borrowings. I won't use the word loan. This time I use the word borrowing. So it's called specific borrowing. This loan, these 2 are called what? Opposite of specific is what? General borrowing. The sum. The main sum will have specific borrowing, general borrowing, multiple specific, multiple general possible, and multiple assets also. So what? Doesn't matter. Now how to do? In the 300 or 2 are prepaying, guys. Because I'll split this 300 into 2. Specific is easy. What I will do? 202. 15%. How much? 30. With or without calculator, 30 only you will get. Correct? 30. Balance is how much? 100. Now follow very carefully. This balance 100 is used from which loan? SBI, HDFC. I don't know. It could be used in any ratio. They have not given. That's why I will try to find 100 into weighted average cost of borrowing. I will come down. Again I will do 100 into 10% is how much? 10 plus are same numbers because we use same example. 150 into 14 is how much, guys? 21 divided by total loan of 250 into 100. You will get the same answer. How much? 12.40% is my weighted average cost of borrowings. Are you understanding, guys? Now I will come here and apply 100 into 12.4%. How much you are getting? 12.4. So total interest to be capitalized is 30 plus 12.4. How much? 42.4. Are you understanding? Are you understanding, guys? So the 300 is split into two. How much is used from specific borrowing? How much is used from general borrowing? For specific borrowing, that specific amount into specific loan percentage. For general borrowing only, you have the additional step of computing something called weighted average cost of borrowing. Are you following, guys? Clear? Understanding? Hello? Same thing in our notes. Let me show you the notes. Look at this. In measurement of borrowing cost, in our notes, look at this. Measurement of borrowing cost, very simple. The simple notes what I have given you, continuing from previous discussion. Specific borrowing and general borrowing. Capitalize actual borrowing cost incurred. How we did? 200 into 10%. General borrowing, capitalize at something called WACB, weighted average cost of borrowing. Are you following, guys? This WACB you will see more in detail in your financial management papers. In any professional course it's there. It will be covered over there. But got the context, guys? We are not yet done. Let's come back to the same example. Same example. Now, let's say I give you 1 lakh rupees today and ask you to give it back to me after 1 year, but give me 1 lakh. So let's say I gave Sahana 1 lakh today and Sahana has to give back to me how much, guys? 1 lakh after 1 year. What you will do with the 1 lakh, Sahana? Yes. Buy a phone. How will you return the money to me? How will you return? Will you keep the 1 lakh idle in the house? No. What you will do? The simplest thing is keep this 1 lakh in bank. She will, let's say 7% interest. She will get how much? 7,000 rupees interest. She will repay my 1 lakh. She has gained the 7,000. Buy the phone for 7,000 rupees. Or do whatever she wants for 7,000. Your bare minimum. Sir, on the 1 lakh sir. I will give it back after 1 year. Waste. So if you are having money in your house in the cupboard, my father has 25 lakhs kept in the cupboard, no use. Unless it's black money. You can't keep in the bank. Okay, fine. Leave that aside. So if you keep it in the bank, that's when you earn interest. Okay. So same way, in our examples, there is no black money. We are talking only about proper accounting. So everything bank loan, we got the money. Now let's say I got so much money from ICICI Bank. How much, guys? Now building katradhu, this full building construction will happen in 1 day. It takes how long? 2 to 3 years. So look at this. Building construction of 300 will take 2 to 3. But when I borrowed the money, the full money of how much? 200. ICICI was taken on day 1 now. Now, why to keep this money idle? Because the usage could be, I need 50 after 6 months. Maybe I need 100 after 1 year. Another 50 after 2 years. Correct? I might need the money after 2 years. Are you getting it, guys? Imagine Selva Kumar is with that same house is building 20 crores. Nobody will pay full 20 crores at starting. First he will give 5 crores advance. Then he will give 10 crores. Then once the house is ready, he will pay the balance 5 crores. Yes or no? Will you pay anytime full money? No. You pay in installments. Okay. Same way here. What to do with this 200? Simply keep with me or do something with it. So what I am doing, okay, in this 200, 150 is needed in the first 1 year. So I am not disturbing that. But this 50 is needed only after completion of 2 years. So what to do? Why to waste this 50? What I am doing, this 50, I will invest in some FD and earn interest of 5. So look at this. Out of 200, assuming my interest is 10%, what was the interest in above example? 50 now. Okay. So interest into 15%, you are going to pay interest of 30. But அதே 200 use பண்ணி, so in my P&L, debit side interest is. Now using the same 200, instead of keeping money idle, you kept in some bank FD and got interest of 5. So you got income of 5. Now how much I will capitalize? How much will capitalize? I'll give you option. Capitalize 30 or 25. How much, guys? 25. I know my interest expense is 30, but using the same loan, I earned a temporary income of, so net interest is, I will capitalize only 25. That's the next point. Note 1. Reduce income from short-term investment, if any, not mandatory, if any, for specific borrowing, not for general borrowing, because general borrowing is used for general use for many things. Specific borrowing is taken for this asset of, so on the loan line, if you get any income, reduce it from the cost of borrowing. Are you understanding, guys? Everybody clear? Any doubts in this? Hello? Clear, guys? So these are the maximum cases that you can get. Different, we are of course going to do sums for all of this. These are the maximum cases that you can get for different scenarios. 2 checkpoints that you have to do here. In any sum that you are going to solve, the amount of interest, for example, if it's 80, we are only splitting into how much is debited to P&L plus how much is. So in the right hand side, a total panna, it should not be more than 80. It can be 60 plus 20, 70 plus 10, any combination. One common mistake students do is, this total becomes more than 80. That means somewhere you made some mistake in some computation. Are you getting it, guys? Fine. After this, we have only one more concept left in the standard for theory. Sums, of course, we have few more sums. One more main concept is what is. That's the theory part. I will come to that later. Okay. With this, we are ready to go and solve a sum with specific and general borrowing. We are going to do it today itself. But now, I am going to teach a concept not relevant for exam. But why are we capitalizing? What is the advantage of capitalizing, guys? எதுக்கு சார் நான் capitalize பண்ணணும்? Okay. For example, house is construction, let's assume 2 years, and let's say loan is 5 years. Okay. Now, assume the interest per year is 100 lakhs or 1 crore. Okay. Interest per year is 100. The first 2 years alone, you will do what, guys? Capitalize. Remaining 3 years, you will debit to P&L. Correct? Why am I capitalizing? In the start of the standard, I gave one logic. Now, towards the end, what happens when you capitalize? So that means interest is being debited to P&L. I mean, debited to balance sheet asset. It never comes to P&L. Nothing like that. Look at the beautiful logic behind which this standard is made. Asset is built in 2 years. Let's go back to Selva Kumar's example. How much is spent for the house? 25 crores. You forgot the slide. 25 crores is spent for the house. Correct? What is the life of the house? What is the life of the house? Hello? How many years? Selva Kumar, how many years will stay in that house? Beach villa, beach view, 6 bedroom. Yes. 40 years. Till the rest of your life. Okay, after marriage. So his plan is to, even if he's not staying for 40 years, one house will at least be there for 40, 50 years. It's not a car or phone which I demolish and reconstruct every 10 years. On 40, 50 years, let's say 50 years the house will be there. Actually in India, more than 50 years. Let's say 50 years divided by 50 years. How much are you getting? 25 crores divided by 50 years. How much, guys? 0.50 crores or nothing but 50 lakhs. Yes or no? Do I need calculator for this, guys? Hello? Correct answer only, no? Hello? Do I need calculator? No. So 50 lakhs. What is this 50 lakhs? What is this 50 lakhs? The first entry which he will pass is building to bank 25. Let's say cumulative. After this, each of the 50 years, what he will do? Depreciation. Excellent. Depreciation account debit to building 50 lakhs each year, correct? That means basically why am I not debiting P&L? Why am I first capitalizing any asset? Because you capitalize any asset here, 25 crores you are capitalizing here as house, and you depreciate every year how much, guys? Why can't I debit full house expense 25 crores in the same year? Why balance sheet first of all? எதுக்கு balance sheet? Stupid concept, balance sheet P&L. இருக்கிற expense full house expense 25 crores I can debit in the same year, no? Why so many years? Why? Nobody asked this question, sir, in school, so I never answered this. Why balance sheet? Why one stupid asset? Why one capitalizing, depreciating, creating headache? Full 25 crores I will debit P&L. Why should I capitalize? Simple concept of accrual, very simple. This 25 crores house, benefit I get for how many years? 50 years. So I can't debit full expense in the same year. That's why you're debiting balance sheet. That's the core concept. And every year you will depreciate how much? 50 lakhs for the next 50 years, where because my house has a benefit of 50 years, the expense is spread over 50 years. That's depreciation. Spreading over the expense for 50 years, correct? Now, this 25 crores house includes what? Interest. Now, the interest I am incurring over here in these 2 years for construction of the house, I am getting benefit for next 50 years. That's why I am adding in cost of the asset, and this 25 crores includes my cost of interest, which will be included depreciation. That means in the subsequent years, this depreciation includes interest, which is being spread over the next 50 years. Are you able to see the concept, guys? And this interest of year 3, 4, 5, I am not building any asset. In the expense of 100, am I getting any benefit for the next year? Nothing. That's why this full 100 is debited to my P&L. But this 100, I get benefit for the next 50 years, so I'm apportioning. Now are you getting the logic, guys, as to why I capitalize something and why interest is added? This they will not ask in exam. This is logic you learn to enjoy the subject. Are you following, guys? Clear? Everybody clear, guys? Anybody who studied AS 16, go ask them this logic. They will not know. What answer he will know? Hey, why all this? I know how to compute WSCB. Exam pass, that's it. But you need to learn the subject this way. Following, guys? Clear? Everybody understood? Anybody wants to repeat this? Hello? With this, all the concepts in this standard is done in detail. We just have one putty concept as what is borrowing cost. Theory part, I will keep it for later. We will discuss, of course. Recording students will see in next recording. With this, we have understood how do you quantify the amount. So I will end this recording over here.